She greeted him and took a seat. Sunjin looked at her and asked how she was doing and if everything had been going well for her. With a fake smile, Kim lied, saying she had been busy with school and working hard to pass. She was unaware that Sunjin already knew the truth. With a bright smile, Kim expressed her happiness that he had finally realized Minsu was not the one for him. Before she could continue, Sunjin interrupted her, telling her that he believed in her and that she was smart and full of potential. He urged her not to throw away her future over something trivial. The moment he mentioned her struggles, Kim's expression changed. Almost teary-eyed, she asked what someone should do if they had worked hard for someone's attention, watching them silently from the sidelines, supporting them in every way, only for that person to end up with someone else right in front of them. Understanding her pain, Sunjin gently told her that love could not be forced. It had to happen naturally, and forcing it would only lead to heartbreak. Kim then asked if he had ever noticed her. She revealed that she had always watched him, attended every soccer game, and followed him to every tech competition, hoping he would acknowledge her. She said the only time he had ever looked at her was when he handed her his business card. Sunjin stared at her for a moment before responding. He told her that he did recognize her and was aware of her presence all along. However, he emphasized that, as he had said, love could not be forced. He admitted that he had never seen her in a romantic light, but he had always viewed her as a hard-working and intelligent person. That was why, when he saw her at the tech conference, he had given her his business card, hoping to provide her with an opportunity. Kim sat there, stunned. She had assumed he had never noticed her, but now she realized he had been aware of her all along. A sense of relief washed over her, knowing that he had at least acknowledged her presence. Sunjin then stood up, ready to leave. He reminded her to remember his words and not to throw her life away. He reassured her that one day she would meet someone who truly loved her. But he was not that person. With that, he walked away. As he was about to get into his car, Kim rushed after him. She asked him to wait, and he turned to her, concerned. Moving closer, she thanked him for knocking some sense into her and apologized for becoming someone she was not. Sunjin smiled, realizing he had managed to help her, just as Minsu had wanted. Kim then suggested they shake hands and start fresh. Sunjin agreed, and as they shook hands, Kim suddenly leaned in and kissed him. Angry, Sunjin pushed her away and asked if she was crazy. Kim admitted that she couldn't let go of him so easily. Realizing she was beyond reasoning, Sunjin got into his car and drove off. As he left, a man holding a camera approached Kim and showed her the pictures he had taken of her and Sunjin. Smiling, Kim approved the photos, handed him some money, and instructed him on what to do with them before walking away with a satisfied grin. Sunjin made his way into Tech Bloom, upset about what had happened. As he walked in, he noticed people staring at him. Without acknowledging them, he went straight to his office and sat down. His assistant walked in and asked where he had been. Sunjin looked at him and coldly replied that it was none of his business. The assistant handed him his cell phone and told him to look at the news. As Sunjin glanced at the screen, he saw pictures of himself at a restaurant with Kim, along with another photo of them kissing. Speculation about their relationship was spreading rapidly. Furious, he threw the phone on the floor and exclaimed that Kim had played him, insisting that she had forced herself on him. His assistant suggested that he should address the situation by releasing a statement denying the rumors. Sunjin agreed, saying he would handle it, then stood up and stormed out of the office. At the art studio, Minsu was with Woobin, showing him some work files, when Sunjin suddenly entered the office. Without saying a word, he grabbed Minsu's hand and led her to her office. Confused by his actions, Minsu asked what was wrong and why he had come to see her so early. Sunjin, still upset, asked if she had seen the news. She told him she had not checked her phone all morning because she had been busy. Handing her his phone, he told her to look at it. As she read the news about Kim and Sunjin, she turned to him and asked how it had happened. Frustrated, Sunjin reminded her that he had warned her to stay away from Kim, and now this had only added more problems to their relationship. Minsu, feeling guilty, admitted that she had not anticipated this outcome and questioned why he had allowed Kim to kiss him. Angrily, Sunjin insisted that he had not allowed it and that Kim had tricked him. He reminded Minsu that he had grown up around people like Kim and that when he warned her about someone, she should listen. He emphasized that not everyone needed saving. Seeing how upset he was, Minsu apologized. But Sunjin simply looked at her before walking out, leaving her standing there with regret written all over her face. Determined to speak to him, she immediately ran out to catch up with him, but Woobin stopped her at the door. He advised her to let Sunjin go, explaining that when he was angry, he needed time to cool off. Minsu protested, saying she could not just let him leave like that. Woobin moved closer and reassured her that he knew Sunjin well, as they had practically grown up together. He assured her that Sunjin would return, but she needed to give him space. He tapped her shoulder and told her to trust him before walking away. Minsu stood there unsure of what to do. She had never seen Sunjin this upset before. Ultimately, she decided to follow Woobin's advice and return to her office. Later that evening, Kim lay on her bed in a good mood as she scrolled through her phone. However, her expression quickly changed when she saw that Sunjin had released a statement on his social media platforms denying the dating rumors. Frustrated, she immediately got out of bed and walked out of her room. She entered her father's office, visibly nervous. Without looking at her, he asked what she wanted. Kim hesitated before requesting a favor. Her father raised his head and looked at her with disappointment, reminding her that he had done many favors for her, yet she had never delivered any results. He compared her to her younger sister, who had successfully secured a lifelong business deal for their family through her marriage. He continued berating Kim, reminding her that she had failed to secure a business deal with Tech Bloom through Sunjin, despite all the advantages he had given her. He had paid for her surgery, sent her to the same prestigious school as Sunjin, and provided her with countless opportunities to get close to him, yet she had still failed. Kim stood there, absorbing her father's harsh words, before confidently assuring him that this time she would not fail. Skeptical, he asked how she planned to succeed when she had already failed so many times. She requested that he arrange a meeting with Sunjin's father and ensure that Sunjin would also be present. Her father considered her request and eventually agreed, saying he would invite Sunjin's father for a golf game. However, he warned her that this was the last favor he would do for her. Kim smiled, thanking him and asking him to inform Sunjin's father to bring Sunjin along. Her father nodded in agreement. Feeling victorious, she walked out, determined to execute her plan. That night, Minsu remained in her office, waiting for Sunjin as usual. Checking the time, she realized it was already late. She knew he was still upset and had tried calling him earlier, but he had not answered. Woobin entered the office and told her they should leave. Minsu hesitated, saying she wanted to wait a little longer. Woobin gently told her that Sunjin was not coming and that she should give him some time. Feeling disheartened, Minsu finally stood up and walked toward the door. Woobin reassured her not to worry, promising that Sunjin would come around. She nodded silently and walked out, hoping he was right.